Hey there, champs. It seems like the whole boxing world is talking about the most famous 3 a.m. run in history, taking place with Floyd Mayweather and King Ryan Garcia. But I won't be talking about that because this is not a fitness class, it's a boxing channel. Even though I do play the part and I am very fit. We are gonna be talking about why belts don't matter and who is truly the face of boxing, according to Floyd Mayweather's tweets. And I believe I really did come up with a great idea of how to measure who is really the A side and the B side and the true face of boxing. Stay tuned till the end. I believe you guys are gonna like this idea. But before we get into all of that, if you guys are not subscribed, please punch and knock out that subscription button. That way you'll never see it again. And ding the notification bell. That way you'll never miss any of my new boxing videos. Alright guys, let's get to the round. Ding, ding. I believe this all started when Terrence Crawford messaged on social media, "It's always your people that first bring you down." No, Terrence Crawford, I do not believe that. You should change people with fans. It's always your fans the first that bring you down, not your people. I don't have a favorite fighter, but I am a fan of boxing. That makes me a fan of you because you are part of boxing. Mayweather tweets, "Some of these boxers think they're major stars because they start making a couple of $1 million. Mayweather says, "Truly, there's only a couple of big major stars. Number 1 being CANELO, number 2 being Tank Davis, and number 3 being Ryan Garcia." And to me, they are exactly in that order that Mayweather said. Don't get me wrong, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Terrence Crawford, and Errol Spence are all great champions. We are not talking about belt holders. We are talking about superstar prize fighters. I get why people saying that Ryan is not a superstar because he has not sold out arenas, but the dude only had one pay-per-view fight. Him and GERVONTA Tank Davis sold 1.4 million pay-per-view buys. Devin Haney did a great venue last time, selling out the arena, but he only sold like 50,000 pay-per-views. If not, bring out those numbers. Also, he only did 150,000 pay-per-view buys with Lomachenko, and that is Lomachenko. What made us think that he was gonna outsell that with Regis Prograis? I do get if belts did matter, how come Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford did not beat Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis? I believe they sold around 600,000 pay-per-views. That is less than half. So are they superstars and prize fighters, or they're just really great? And don't get me wrong, those are really good, great numbers, especially in today's standards when everybody steals the pay-per-views. And it's very easy to steal the pay-per-views. But I do believe this fight did really well because all the hardcore boxing fans bought it. This fight meant a lot to boxing, and it still does, especially the rematch. I want to see this rematch. But I really truly do believe that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford could have probably outsold Ryan and Tank, but they did nothing to sell the fight. They did nothing to persuade the casuals to buy the fight. If any casuals did buy the fight, it's because us hardcore boxing fans were really talking about the fight that much. But I believe if Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford would have trash talked and started some beef, it would have been a way bigger fight, either matching or outselling Tank and Ryan's pay-per-view numbers. They should trash talk the way we all vision Adrian Broner and Rolly would trash talk if they ever fight. But they didn't. They just smiled and kept it cordial. As we all know, we all live in an age where you have to be a good promoter yourself and trash talk and promote the fight and make it bigger than what it is. Even though on paper, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford is one of the biggest fights ever. I believe Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, boxers like that are great boxers and fighters and are a lot more accomplished than Ryan and Tank. And they might even be more skilled than Ryan and Tank. Okay guys, as for measuring who is really the number one face of boxing, obviously Ryan Garcia to me is number 3. But a lot of boxing fans are divided who is really the face of boxing between Canelo and Tank Davis. Do you guys remember the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Honey, I Blew Up the Kids with Nick Moranis? And this is hypothetically speaking. What if we blew up Gervonta Tank Davis to the size and weight class as Canelo Alvarez? And in this hypothetical match, when they negotiate who would be side A and who would be side B, what would the split be? Who would be the face of boxing? Comment below. I'm pretty sure the fight would take place in Las Vegas or Saudi Arabia. Who would come out first and who would come out second? Or there will be a coin flip? Or to make it fair, you could shrink down Canelo to Abdul Wahid's size. And this is not just for Tank and Canelo, you can mix and match your favorite fighters. Imagine Devin Haney versus Boots Ennis, Inoue versus Usyk, and whatever you guys can really think of, it goes with any boxer. My dream fight will be Inoue versus Shakur Stevenson. But I really just wanted to see how people think about that and who really is the face of boxing. I believe if Tank and Canelo both negotiated, I think Canelo will be the A side and the actual face of boxing till this date, because Canelo is way more accomplished than Tank Davis is. He has beaten way more world champions than Tank Davis has. He has also sold a lot more pay-per-views than Gervonta Tank Davis. He has also fought a lot better opposition than Gervonta Tank Davis has. And now I believe we have the clear A side and the face of boxing. Tank Davis is miles and miles and miles away from Canelo. But in Tank's defense, I do believe you can't really compare them until they're both retired, because Canelo is probably on his way out already and only has a few fights left. And it also seems that his pay-per-view numbers are going down. And Gervonta Tank Davis only sold 1.4 million pay-per-views once. And that was against a very famous superstar prize fighter with Ryan Garcia. I know he sold 1.4 million pay-per-views with Ryan Garcia and he knocked Ryan Garcia out. And do you think he's gonna fight some jabroni and still sell 1.4 million pay-per-views? I really doubt that. I think he's only gonna sell a little bit more than he used to before. That's if he fights another Hector Garcia or Rolly Romero. Even if he fights a Devin Haney or a Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis doesn't really talk smack and he's very quiet. He won't even sell the fight. I think he would only sell like Spence and Crawford did. Unless he trash talks and creates some beef, making the fight bigger than it is. But I want to hear from you guys. Who do you think is the real face of boxing, the number one? And if you guys are not subscribed, subscribe, like the video, share the video, and that's it for me, champs. I gotta roll.